I was just constantly chasing this false narrative of who I had to be considered successful. Like having millions and millions of dollars to me doesn't mean I'm successful anymore. If it meant that my family suffered because of it and my time suffered because of it. So now it's way more about how much time and energy I'm making and I'm pouring into my friends, my loved ones, my family, making memories, all that kind of stuff. We have enough resources to go travel, create these memories, and spend time with the people we love. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Welcome to the Our Family Invest podcast, where we explore what happens when family, purpose, and entrepreneurship align. I'm Mike, a former Maui firefighter who reached financial freedom in just 5 years through real estate investing.
And I'm Caroline, a Maui-based realtor here to educate, empower, and elevate my clients to make smart real estate moves, whether right here at home or through my nationwide network.
Together, we're chasing our full potential as individuals, as a couple, and as a family. We're here to build a life that matters. And each week we share the stories of couples who inspire us to love harder, dream bigger, and grow bolder. So join us and let's learn, share, and grow together. All right, today we are here sitting down with Don and Janelle Carlson, high school sweethearts who turned a $35,000 loss on their first flip into the foundation for a thriving, fully remote real estate business. Over the last 5 years, they've done more than 100 transactions, flipped and wholesaled over 30 homes a year, and built a lifestyle that's let them work from anywhere, all while raising their baby boy. They're proof that freedom is about building the systems that let your life come first. All right, you two, we are super excited to finally sit down with you guys again and to kind of get to know who each of you are. And I want you guys to share with our audience, who you are behind the social media platforms, behind the successes, all that kind of stuff. So I want to know, Janelle, if I were to ask you, who is Don, what would you say? And then Don, I want you to answer for Janelle.
That's fun. Well, thank you so much for having us on, first and foremost. It's so good to see you guys again and talk to you. We're super excited about that. But who is Don? I would say that Don is a super fun, caring, loving, adventurous guy who is great at music. He is the best cook. That a lot of people don't know that, but he is a cook in the family. He's absolutely incredible at it. And he's good at basically everything he does. So like if he just like tries one thing, he'll just pick it up and get it and be fine. Like when I took him snowboarding for the first time, he was a skier and he just like picked it up right away. I'm like, sweet. Well, that's awesome. You're better than me already, but it's fine. So yeah. And I would say he's my best friend.
Love that. Sweet. And Janelle, this is a great question. I would say Janelle, first and foremost, loyal. She is she's also a heat-seeking missile. If she is like driven on something, like she will get this done hell or high water, which is super awesome. I would also say like a cunning wit. She is, if you know Janelle, if you get to know her well enough, she is the most sarcastic, hilarious side comment. And it's always quiet under her breath or just like side to side. It's so, but loving, loyal, my best friend.
Aw, I love it. I know you two have been together for 15 years now.
Yes.
So how did you meet? What was your first day like?
Yeah. So we met in high school in 9th grade. We met in a class called Computer Tools. So back in the day when we had to actually like learn how to use computers, it was kind of fun.
Yeah, like Microsoft Word, Excel,
PowerPoint, how to create a PowerPoint, all that kind of stuff.
I don't think I've created like 5 PowerPoints outside of high school.
Yeah.
So
or like not with Canva.
Canva.
So, yeah. But we met there and we were friends for basically all of freshman year until towards the end of freshman year when he finally asked me out, and our first date was paintballing and In-N-Out.
Just
so fun.
I'm like, wipe her up. I'm 16,
so
15
fun.
and a half, but like this is it.
Yep.
This
And
is
you
it.
wanted to shoot her on your first date.
I know.
No, we were on the same team.
We
We
were
were on
on
the
the
same team.
Yes.
Okay.
And my mom drove us, which is kind of funny.
Oh,
She drove
how
us.
did that go down?
Great.
Fine.
I think your mom went paintballing.
Yeah, my mom
too.
took me paintballing for my first time when I was like in 7th or 8th grade, and we both loved it. So she was like, "Yeah, let's go paintballing with your friend."
Mhm.
So
Amazing.
Love it.
Amazing. So, all right. So 15 years together. I know you've been married for 9 years and now you just had a brand new baby boy, right?
Yes.
How has that transition been for the two of you?
Oh
Oh
man.
man. I think I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but it's been tough for me because I'm very much a kind of like a workhorse. Like I love to work. I love to do the thing. I like to have tasks to check off every day that I need to do. And so when I had the baby, I wasn't able to really do any of those things. I had to figure out how to become a new mom. My labor was really, really tough. So I actually wasn't able to walk for the first 3 to 4 weeks. And so like I literally couldn't do anything. And that was really, really taxing on me. But now I think we're trying to figure out the scheduling of
Yeah.
like when I can work, the balancing of the business and all that kind of stuff. Luckily, we are out of state investors. So we did have a lot of systems and processes in place to be able to run the business without us having to physically be there or be present all the time. So that has been super helpful for this transition into parenthood. And blessing from God that we decided to go that route.
No,
for
absolutely.
sure.
And what's nice is like when we first got married, we wanted to wait like 5 years before we had a kid, but like it just kept pushing it down further and further down the line. But very thankful that we had our son like when we did, because I felt like we weren't fully equipped and prepared. Like again, starting a new, I think we were only in after the 5 year mark of us being married, we were only in real estate for like 2-3 years and investing like first or second year. So like, now everything's a little bit more stable and leveled out. So more well equipped. We also had an amazing 20s, because we just turned 30 last year. And I'm 31 now. So it's like we went to Ibiza, Mykonos, like Japan, like all over the world.
All with friends, which is super awesome. It was just like a
Portugal-
fun time.
Portugal with friends, Europe with friends. So it's like to have that life experience, super thankful. And now it's like during our 30s, I'm like, we can chill, right? Like, is that okay? Like, like, let's just raise our boy and kind of hunker down.
And I think we know what we want now. Like in our 20s, we didn't really know what we wanted. We didn't know what type of investor we wanted to be, what type of business we wanted to have. We were really just chasing the number, right? Like chasing the unit count, chasing the profit number, the billionaire status per se, and like now it's so much more focused on like how much time do we actually have for our family, for our baby? Can I be home with him? Like what are the things the things that actually matter really?
We figured out like the lifestyle that we wanted to live, and then like plug in activities here to like get us there, which was a big frame shift for us from mindset wise.
Yeah, I love that because a lot of people never find that. They never find the why. They are always chasing the door count or the number, right? What's your number? What's your number? How many doors you have? I hate both of those questions. I hate them
too.
And I think the more you get around sophisticated investors, you will never hear those questions come up.
No,
because
not
they don't
at all.
matter, right?
They don't matter. No. And with being in the business for a little while, going to all these conferences and stuff, like you start to see the people that do have all this big number count or whatever, but it's like, are you actually making money from those things though? Or is it just a flex to say that you've done that many deals, have that many doors? Like, and we found that some people that have smaller businesses tend to profit the same amount of money as the bigger guys because their overhead isn't as much. They don't take as much risk because they don't have to, right? So like their profit margins are just a little bigger sometimes than the big ones. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
And
like the people that margin is a lot less too.
Yes, their lifestyle is way better.
It's like, I crush 30 deals a month, but I'm like,
are you gonna
miserable?
Like you're okay, right? You're not close to any bridges or anything like that. Right. You're like you're good.
Yeah.
So I want to go back because I know, like Janelle, you're really good on Instagram. You post a lot of cool stuff, and I remember seeing this one post where you were talking about being stuck in a job that you hated and real estate was the way out, right? I want to go back to that time because you're out of state investors. You're in California, and that's an expensive market. So I get it, right? It's really hard to invest when your economy is crazy high expensive, right?
Mhm.
How did you get started in real estate? How did you decide to go all in on out of state investing? And what did that look like? What were those steps and what drove you to real estate?
Yeah. So, at my previous job, I actually had a coworker that was starting her own real estate office and brokerage. Like she was franchising out. And so they asked me if I wanted to become an agent and if I've ever thought of it. And I was like, who hasn't thought of becoming a real estate agent or like getting into real estate? Right. So I was like, yeah, why not? Like for sure. So I did. And I realized kind of like the work that was needed to actually be a successful real estate agent. So I tried to dabble in that as much as I can and kind of go full force there. But then I realized that I absolutely hated being an agent. It was the worst because I there was no time freedom there. And I was like, I'm gonna be my own boss. I'm gonna make all this money, you
Boss
know?
babe mug, all
Yeah.
that
And
stuff.
I'm like, this is not it at all. I was working weekends. I was working from 5 to 9 showing houses, like, and then normal title and escrow hours, 9 to 5, right? I was like, this is terrible. So then I started working with some investor clients and flippers in the area. And that's kind of what transitioned my mindset into like, what if I just started investing somehow? Right. Like, and there were people in my office that were also flipping houses. So I tried to like talk to them, partner with them. And that's actually how we lost our first 35K. I partnered with somebody in our office and he ghosted me and ran away with our money. So I was like, sick. Yeah, it was terrible and the worst.
Super fun.
Yeah, super fun.
Don't recommend.
Okay, wait, before
No.
you move on from that, can you back that
Sure.
up?
Yeah.
Can you walk
Yeah.
us through that first deal? Because I feel like a lot of people are asking for funds. And
Yeah.
so so can you walk us through what happened?
For sure. I mean, the main premise was I was a not educated young 23-year-old girl that had some money saved from us and like just set aside to invest. And I trusted the wrong person. We didn't really have anything like solid in writing or anything like that. Like I just purely trusted the person because of my relationship with them. And so I blindly basically gave them 35K to flip a house. And lo and behold, as I kind of tried to get that money back, try to figure out where the project was at,
Like, oh,
progress
it's common.
wise.
It's common.
Yeah, I like start to dig into this guy, and he has multiple foreclosures. His personal residence going to foreclosure. It ended up selling the day that I was trying to put a lien on the house. Like so
Wow.
many things. Yeah, and it's like, and I talked to some lawyers about it, and they were like, I mean, it's not, it's a lot. Obviously, for us, it was a ton, right? But like to them, it's like you're probably going to pay more trying to get that money back than if you just kind of take it as a wash, just as a learning lesson.
Yeah.
Come to find out, he actually owed a lot of people a lot of money. So I was like an itty bitty thing on his list of
Wow.
people he owed money to. So it was a really big bummer. But I don't know if this was a blessing and a curse. I didn't let it stop me, right? And we just had to, I wanted to keep going because I really did not want to live a life where I was stuck in just corporate America. I come from working class parents. Both of my parents worked. And I had a great childhood, great growing up. Like my parents did everything they could for me. But I really wanted to be able to be home with our kids, go to the field trips, soccer games, baseball games, volleyball games, whatever. And my parents weren't always able to do that. And so I really wanted to change that. And so I knew I had to find another way to do that. And same with his parents. His dad or his mom was stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, for sure. And my dad was a full-time film in the film industry. He was a camera assistant. So he like pulled focus, built the camera every morning. So, and he was like pretty known in the industry too. Like my whole family was film. My uncle was a Steadicam operator. My grandma was actually the first woman AD in Chicago, assistant director. So that was my path.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's a union type gig. So like once you start working, like you're making 200K a year, and that would have been great. But like the hours, it's like 14-hour days, 5 days a week, sometimes Saturday shoots, and it's still gig work. Like working on movies versus TV shows. Like TV shows are like more 9 to 5. Movies, it's like a 3-4 month shoot. You go every like my dad was supposed to work on the Batman movies actually, but like they were filming in like Mongolia and like all these places. And so he's like, I'm gonna do TV because I was younger and baseball and stuff. So
yeah. So when we were looking at the lifestyle of it, we're like, we have to just find something different than the past that we were basically told we had to go into, right? For me, it was corporate. For him, it was film. And so I thought that real estate, and I still believe that real estate was like our only option to really get out and live the life that we wanted to live. And so when we ran out of money because we didn't have any left after that failed flip, we're like, okay, well, we have to look elsewhere because we can't afford to invest in our market. So that's when we started to look out of state. And within that time frame too, that's when I found Bigger Pockets, started listening to Brandon and Josh before David was on the podcast and stuff like that. Yeah, the OGs.
Love Josh.
And looked into looked into long distance investing and all that kind of stuff. So then we made our transition that way and started just buying some long-term rentals. Then we realized long-term rentals wasn't really the way that we wanted to go either, because you had to buy so many to actually replace our income, which is our ultimate goal. So then we started wholesaling and flipping, and now we're here. So kind of crazy.
And really quick, my background in real estate too. I started out right away in mortgages. So out of college, I was a window covering salesperson. So that was my like college job, lead generator. So was always in that like sales type like space. But was working like a window kiosk, like in a mall while studying for my NMLS test and stuff on the CompuTrainer. So started out as a mortgage broker. And then also did some lending for larger lending institutions like PennyMac. I was licensed in 25 states. But it was interesting while we were looking at investing out of state, Bigger Pockets, I talked to my broker about this, and he's like, "Oh, you don't want to invest out of state. You can lose so much money." And he lived through like the crash, so like I get there's some skepticism there, but also like if I would have listened to him, we wouldn't have moved to Maui for 2 years. We wouldn't know the amazing people like you guys that we would have like nothing would have happened. So I'm glad I didn't listen to him.
Yeah.
Screw you.
So, I mean, it would have been so easy for you to throw in the towel after losing 35 grand, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
Sane people would have.
anyone would have. Like, I would imagine the amount of people that are like, nope, let's try again would be very, very small. And so, and not only did you do it, then you're like, you know, it sounds even harder. Let's just go out of state where it's a completely different market that we don't even know. Why don't we try that? So walk us through, like, how did you not just decide to do that, but like build your teams out of state? Cause that takes a lot of work too.
It
It's
does.
hard to build teams in state.
Yes.
For sure. I would like a big tip that I'm glad we did was we visited our market. Like we started investing in Indy. My family lives there, so we've been there before. But I think our first project that we bought.
sent it so hard. Yeah.
We didn't visit the market and meet the team members before.
But like, I honestly think we did what we did because we just didn't know any better. It was just kind of like what you don't know type of thing. And now I would like, don't do it what I did at all. Like you will go so much farther if you don't do what I did. But yeah, I think it was just like, oh, this is kind of what you do. We'll just follow the book and the blueprint and see what happens. And nothing went according to plan. But yeah, when we were looking at out of state, we looked at a couple different areas and markets. We ended up landing in Indy because he had family there, which is, in my opinion, not super important if you know people there or not. Because it's not like they're going to help. Like, they're not going to go.
But grandma's going to drive by the property.
I know.
In the hood.
Like, no one's going to do that. So it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't matter if you have people that you know there. But anyways, so that's what we did. And we ended up buying a property. We were just doing some research on Bigger Pockets. We used the marketplace to find deals. Yeah. We ended up buying a wholesale deal from a wholesaler off of Bigger Pockets and kind of just blindly trusted him too, for only God knows the reason.
But he was an upstanding guy. He had a great contractor
referral. And so, we still own that property. We bought that property for $19,500.
Wow.
And it was a triplex.
Guys, it's appreciated though to $85,000.
Yep.
So
whoa, that's quite an appreciation. Those are California numbers there.
I know.
That's a down payment here, bro.
Not
pretty
even.
fun. This was back in 2019 too. So
Wow.
it was a little bit ago now, but even then it was a really cheap house, you know?
Yeah.
A really cheap property.
How did you guys fund that when you had lost everything?
Yep. So we used we still had some money. I think we had like 50K put together or something like that. So we had some money. And then for that one and a few others, we ended up using private capital. My dad had some and he just helped us fund it. And that was it. And then, but it was mostly just like commissions, some of my commission checks that we
Yeah.
used. My mom had left me some money. So used a little bit of that, but we mostly used that for
Because it was
to
like
get started.
19.5 to buy the whole property,
Mhm.
and I think we spent like another 35K ish in renovations, and then we placed tenants pretty quick after that too. So
Mhm.
and then we did a cash out refi to get as much as we could out.
Yep.
Hey family, real quick. If you'd rather watch your content, head over to Our Family Invests on YouTube. You'll find this episode and all our episodes over there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your takeaways in the comments. Now, back to the show. What kind of management tools for people listening do you guys use to track everything remotely?
Yeah, right now, honestly, I'm just using Resimply. So Resimply's really upped their game on everything because I used to have like 5 to 7 different systems that I would use for everything. But now since Resimply has like the list builder, they have the cash buyers list, they have skip tracing, all management, and it's like $200 a month. I just use that.
Great.
Because I think our total price was around $600. It was $547 or $597 a monthly cost and system. So now it's just like, oh, that's better. Yep.
I'm curious too, like when you're doing all these flips out of state and you're doing wholesaling and everything else, how often are you getting updates from your team on the ground?
Yeah. So I am talking to my contractor. Oh my gosh, it feels like every day, but I don't think it is. I think it's every other day, but we have like a big meeting in the beginning of the week and at the end of the week. So at the beginning of the week, usually it was on Mondays, but we switched it to Tuesdays because Mondays are just usually hectic for him because I have him running around everywhere. He's like, "And you want to meet with me? Like, come on." I'm like, "I get it."
Give me a day, Janelle.
Yeah. So Tuesdays we have like a full blown in depth meeting of what's going on for all of our projects and any upcoming projects that we have to take on. So he's giving me updates of like also what's going to be done throughout the week and just what to expect throughout the week. He's usually either FaceTiming me into the projects if there are any change orders that need to be done or any adjustments or just opinions that need to be made or whatever. And also sending me like pictures and stuff, progress updates. And then at the end of the week, usually on Fridays, we're just having a quick touch base meeting of did everything go according to plan this week? Where did the inspector not show up? Did what changes were made? Do I have to start processing a draw request for the following week to just keep guys paid or like what's going on? So that's usually, and then what to expect for the following week so that I'm kind of ready for our Tuesday meeting and I know what to expect. So that's usually our process now.
That's awesome. And you live and die by systems and processes, I imagine.
Yes.
That keeps it going.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Especially out of state.
Yeah, for sure. So what had to change in your business to go from a couple of deals to 30 deals a year?
Honestly, it was just consistency and discipline. That's it. Because like our systems and stuff hasn't necessarily changed. It was just like the work ethic behind it and staying consistent with marketing and all this kind of stuff. Because it does take a while, you know, like sometimes it can take a while to see actual results and that can be really discouraging. It was to us in the beginning and to me personally. I'm a big marketing person. Like I just love looking at the numbers, what's working, what's not working. I think that's why I like posting on social media because it's like a huge experiment for me of like, what do people like to see? What people don't like to see? I just like to figure that out. So when I see like, when things didn't work for me in the beginning and I saw how much effort I would put into it, I'm like, is this even worth it? And that's where the delayed gratification comes into play, you know, like really practicing that. So I think once we understood that, like, it's not necessarily that we're failing, because that's what it felt like in the beginning. It's just that it usually takes 3 to 6 months to actually see the result. Just like going to the gym, right? It's not like you're going to see it right away. It's the same thing with any type of marketing that you do or just real estate in general. And so once I understood that, I realized, okay, so my efforts that I put in now, I'm going to see in 3 to 6 months. I just have to keep at it so that our deal flow is consistent and constant and I just don't stop with it.
Yeah.
So.
And that was especially because we were primarily doing direct mail. In the beginning, that was our only lead source. So, and adding for like the direct to seller stuff, adding cold calling the return to senders, and then also adding some other stuff like pay per lead or PPL. We thought about PPC. We have a website, and obviously people can go to. It's good for branding, but I think we want to add PPL to help build that consistency too. Because like with mail or like other marketing sources like that, it takes longer. Like the cash conversion cycle takes longer. But for like a pay per lead or even like JVing or joint ventures, so we added that as a lead source too, and that was a number added a bunch of deals per year. So I'm a big relationship guy, so like wholesalers, agents, like those were a good lead source for us for like our flip properties, as well as like me co-wholesaling properties, like dispoing people's acquisitions. So that was a big help to bump up our deal count and cash flow.
Yeah, no, that's so good. You guys, looks like from the outside, I know it looks like you've got everything figured out, right? The whole work from anywhere lifestyle dream. But I also know that is not always what it seems. And I'm sure that it comes with growing pains, right? So can you walk us through maybe the hardest season that you've gone through and what maybe tested your relationship the most during that time?
Yeah, our 20s, the hardest season. Just all of it. All of it. I would say
10 years. No, just kidding.
I would say the first like 2 to 3 years of us investing was, in my opinion, like one of the hardest seasons because one, we kept pivoting. So we didn't stick to one investing strategy. We were chasing that shiny object syndrome all the time. And we have found that every time we switched marketing strategy or investing strategies, it took about a year to actually solidify that thing in that process and actually get good at it to see results. Especially out of state. I feel like if you're in state or local, you can probably nail down something within 6 months and you'd be pretty solid. But for out of state, it just takes longer. And so it would take us literally a year to figure something out. And by then we were almost like so burnt out by that thing. Like, this isn't working. We're going to switch it. Let's find something else. Yeah. And so we would switch. So we wouldn't see that result. And so we were just getting so discouraged after that. And just like the partnerships that we were in, we didn't really learn our lessons with partnerships and just like keep entering them with people that just weren't as determined or as focused as us.
I think the level of commitment. Now we didn't lose like 35 grand again.
No.
But it was more just like the
mental partnership just wasn't the same.
Yeah. So us committing full bore into what we're going to do this side and then expecting the same level of effort from the other partner.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would say those first 2 to 3 years of just like figuring out, again, what we wanted, like what type of business are we trying to run?
What market are we going to be in too? Because
we were changing markets.
We were marketing in Southern California, which is expensive, Indianapolis and Cincinnati. So adding Cincy as a new market at the time.
Yeah. So we were just bouncing around like crazy. So we just didn't know what we were doing ever.
Like hindsight, it makes sense. It was just we were spread so thin, and like we added Airbnbs, rentals, looking at midterms. She wanted to do large multifamily too, which I'm just like,
I'm glad we didn't, but I still would love it.
Oh my gosh.
Well done for sticking with it and putting in the work and not giving up. How has the addition of baby Landon changed the way you guys do business?
Oh man. I think honestly, we're just a lot more direct in a way of like what are we doing here? Like, I do not have the time. Like, I have this allotted time frame. Like, I can't talk for hours on end with you about things. Just like, can we do this or can we not?
Like, no fluff. And,
no.
And I'm like very, very much of a personable, like I could talk for hours, but now even I'm seeing that change in me too, where it's just like, dude, I don't care about your day. I'm sorry. Like I just got a text. I got to bring a breast pump in to the office. Like, can we speed this up?
Yes.
Real thing.
Yes. So the efficiency just needs to be there. Efficiency with everything.
Yeah.
Our systems, the people we talk to, conversations, all of it, for sure.
Yeah. It's crazy how that changes, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Guys, for somebody who's listening, couples that are listening to this and they want to take that leap, but they're kind of scared to get started, what advice would you give them?
Go ahead.
We got some great advice back in 2019 from Jay and Carol Scott. bigger pockets people and amazing humans. Because we asked them that question too. Like, we're somewhat newly married, we're starting real estate, like how do we protect like our marriage too, like, and just function well. And they were very they said basically write down all of the activities that your business requires, and then delegate the specialty stuff to like one person. So like for her, it's design, it's numbers. Like she gets the final say too. Like I can obviously like give my input and like this is why I think we should do this. But if I'm like wrong off the reservation, she has the right to be like, I'm sorry, you've been voted off the island. I mean, like, but for me, it's like acquisitions and dispositions. So like, if like, hey, this is the best price we're going to get for this property. Like I gotta sell it to him. She's like, okay, I trust you. So that was some really good advice so we're not like clashing and like overlapping responsibilities.
Yeah, just defining your roles through strengths and weaknesses of like who's better at that thing and let them handle it. Because that was the other thing that we were facing in the beginning, is that we were both taking on the same role or roles that didn't fit our strengths. So it was really just draining on us as a whole. And then that would bleed into the marriage and all that kind of stuff. So like if you are trying to get started and just trying to do this, like figure that out first. Like, what are you good at? Like what's the thing that you can excel at? Because it'll be easier to succeed in that thing than if you were to like, if you don't like talking to people, like don't cold call. Like that's going to be terrible
it's the
for
worst
you.
idea.
You know, like, and that was me. That's why I started direct mail. Cause like, I'm an introvert. Like I don't love that. So like, I'd rather people call me that want to sell and then me talk to them. So like find that thing that you're good at or that you're okay with doing and stick with it.
Yeah. Great advice. Janelle, you're working from home with your baby boy while flipping houses and running the whole operation. So that is not easy. And I don't want to sugarcoat that because kudos. Let's talk about tangibly how you make that work. What does your normal day-to-day look like?
Yeah. So it's a blessing and a curse with our time change and the time difference between California and Cincinnati. So I do wake up around 6 a.m. and I usually start my day by like pumping and doing this stuff. I go to the gym, and then while I'm in the car in the gym, I'm texting people, I'm doing phone calls, checking with my contractor, handling all that stuff so that once I get home, I can shower, get ready, eat, and then still handle some more business stuff before he has to get into the office around 9-10 o'clock. Our office, the shed that's in our backyard, where he goes into the office. Yes. So he watches baby in the morning, and then I take over around 10 o'clock. But I'm able to get like usually a solid 3 to 4 hours worth of work done before that time hits. And then just throughout the day, I'm just kind of sending text messages on my laptop during nap time, like that kinds of stuff. And then it's really, really helpful on Tuesdays and Thursdays. My grandma and my dad both come to our house for like 4 to 5 hours. And that's where baby is right now. He's with them, and they watch him while I'm able to just like do some like really solid work. So it's nice.
Great.
Yeah, that's good. When you picture baby Landon 20 years from now, right? How do you imagine he looks back and thinks about what do you hope he says about the way that you lived? Not what you built, but how you built it.
I have to not cry for a second so he can go first.
So just to clarify, so for like, from like him being alive to, or like just the work that we did before,
just like what he's watching you right now for the next 20 years. He's going to look back at some point and say, hey, this is what my mom and dad did. What do you think that he's going to say? What's he going to be proud of? Or is there anything? Is he going to be like, those two were, man, I don't know. I'm not going down that road.
I know. I'm just trying not to cry.
I putting the work in, like, just, I can't believe my crazy parents like did all this stuff. Cause we fought very hard to rebuild our sphere. So, and now like, he's going to be like, I can't believe that these are my parents' friends and these are my parents' friends' kids. Like, I'm just so happy and excited for the sphere that we've been able to build and plug him into. So he will have infinite opportunities, ultimate resources. Like, I mean, he has to work, and I'm gonna send him out to Maui with Uncle Gene, get him on those Maui roofs.
There you go.
Like, he's gonna learn.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I think just the connections that we've made and the work we put in.
Yeah. I also want him to see that we were really present parents and that we were just involved in every aspect of his life. That's important to me.
Yeah, I love that. All right. Well, I don't want to make you cry anymore.
Thanks.
And I want
That
to try and
was
lighten
great.
this up a little bit as we wrap this up, because I know that Don has other obligations to get to too. So
Like baby Landon.
But so as we finish this up, we ask the same 4 questions to all our guests. So we're going to end with these here. Okay. And it starts with, who are 3 people, books, or places that inspire you?
Ooh. For people, I would say the very first person that kind of like got us started or like thinking about real estate big time, his name is Victor Khalil, and he was a guy at our church, and he was a commercial investor, and he owned like a few
Like
medical
medical
buildings. Yeah. And like medical professional buildings around the LA area. And we actually went to Israel with him.
Wow.
And yeah, like when we were like 5-6 months married.
Yeah, we almost
like
got
that.
fired for going on that trip because we
Yeah.
were taking too much time off. But
Yes. So, but we went to Israel with him, and on our flight back, he was going to stop in Egypt and like chill there for a month. He's Egyptian, but he was going to stay there for a month. And I remember hearing him say this, and I literally leaned over in our seat on the plane, and I'm like, "How are you able to do that? You don't have to get back to work?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Why not?" And he's like, "I'm a business guy. I don't really go to work."
I'm a businessman.
Yeah. I'm like,
Drugs?
I know.
Like smuggling? Like what?
I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "We can chat after if you want, after the trip," because we were about to land. And I was like, "Okay." So we hit him up after. He took us to dinner, and he told us about his real estate profession and what he was doing in real estate and business, all that kind of stuff. And like, his house is insanely huge, but he's the humblest, most kind, caring human being in the entire world. So was his wife and his kids. Like, they were such an incredible family. And a very different perspective of wealth and fortune that I originally had in mind. Like, sometimes you usually think those people are kind of snotty or whatever, and they just weren't at all. So we both looked up to them so much growing up in our 20s. And even now I'm just like, oh my gosh, like they were such amazing people. And I definitely strive to be like them all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, they were amazing. And then books. One of the main books that changed my perspective of money is What It Takes by Steve Schwarzman.
It's a great book.
Yeah, the owner and founder of BlackRock? Is it BlackRock?
Yeah.
Which one is
Yeah,
it? Okay, cool. Blackstone's the grill, huh?
Blackstone's the grill. I knew it sounded familiar, but I was like, that's not it. What
Blackstone's
is
the
that,
grill.
though? Yeah.
Mom brain. That's what I'm going to blame it on. But BlackRock, and he wrote a book about basically how he founded the company and like what he had to do to get there. He comes from a wealthy background and like very well connected, but it was still just super cool to see the challenges that he faced, but also that like money really is just a number. Like, you can always make more if you really want to, and like that book kind of helped me see that. And like, if you really go after whatever it is, it doesn't really matter your background or what you're trying to achieve, your connections, like you can get those if you really try. And so, yeah, that was a huge, I don't know. I fell in love with that book. It was amazing.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
I
think for places that I'll do a place, like places that inspire us. For me, it is Maui.
Sure.
Like from the standpoint of like, obviously it's amazing. Like, that was a bucket list thing to move it. We're only supposed to be there 6 months, and 2 years later, and then we met y'all. So, so from the beauty standpoint of it, it's just an awesome island, but like, it was kind of funny because after 3 months in, we weren't connected with anyone yet. We were kind of like, I mean, it's great, but like, it's nice to visit. Like, let's just go back and it's fine. And then we got connected. But so from a people standpoint, like, everybody's doing amazing things. So it definitely levels up our views of money, like business mindset. So it's a great even though we're not living there right now, we really want to move back, and do some sort of split time thing so we can get that recharge, not just from like the beaches and stuff, but more of like a mind recharge of like, this is what's going on. So I would say that was a big inspiring place for us.
Yeah. And I would say with Maui too, I grew up going to Maui when I was a kid. And so but Maui was never a spot that I thought I would ever be able to live. It was like one of those dream destinations. And in 2018, I think it was like 2018, 2019, maybe 2019 when we were first getting started in real estate, one of our friends worked on the west side in one of the hotels, and he went back to the mainland after Christmas for his holiday vacation, and he asked if we wanted to basically house sit for him in his like little condo, and we're like, sure, we'd love to. That sounds so fun. So we did that for about a month, and that's when we were like, oh my gosh, we have to figure out how to move here. This is amazing. And we never thought it would be possible. And that whole experience was the reason why we got connected with all of you guys too, because our friend that worked at the hotel worked with Micah. And while Micah was working at the hotels, and during that time, he even said, like, my friend Micah's getting into real estate too, because we were in real estate at the time. He's like, he just sent this letter to this guy and asked if he could work for him. And I guess it worked out because he's not going to work at the hotel anymore.
He put a gift card in too.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we heard the Bigger Pockets podcast of that, of like, I got like $200 Monkey Pod gift card. I'm like, that'll get me an interview. I'm interested.
Micah. It was Micah. And
of course it was.
I know, right? So
love that.
Yeah. So Maui has always had a special place in my heart and in our hearts. So it's nice.
Awesome.
It's incredible.
We can't wait to welcome you back.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Mahalo.
All right. Next question.
Yes.
How do you find peace?
Ooh. Honestly, for me, it's at the beach, mostly during sunset, reading a book. Oh, that's the best. That's just the best. It's the best. Or even like a morning walk on the beach. Oh my gosh, when I can like do my devotion, listen to like some type of devotional, or even just scripture, just walking on the beach. That's like the best thing in the world with the whales jumping in the back. How could you even beat it? It's the best.
Yeah, walking brings a lot of peace. And like during the day though, like just like in the grind, and it's like, I don't know how we're gonna pull this one out, but so like just little prayers here and there, like just asking God to just help us. Like we have a favorite prayer. Please Jesus, please Jesus,
please Jesus, please Jesus, please Jesus. Please Jesus.
That's it.
Like, I'm gonna hear Mike saying that.
Yeah, I gotta write that down. Can you repeat one time?
It does work. It works. Like,
I love that.
Literally, that's our prayer all the time.
Closing's falling apart. Please Jesus,
please Jesus, please.
That is great. That is great with the Christmas anticipation smile. I love it. If you could go back to your younger self, what is one thing you would whisper to them?
It's going to be okay.
Just keep going.
Yep.
It's all worth it.
Yep.
It's going to be okay. Just don't stop.
Don't stop.
Yeah. Don't stop. You only lose if you quit.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we'll end it on this. We like to say we learn, we share, we grow. What is one thing that you've learned recently that made you just kind of stop, breathe, and see life a little differently?
Honestly, I think for me, it was the whole numbers aspect of everything, because I was just constantly chasing this false narrative of who I had to be considered successful. So my mindset of success has just completely changed after having Landon too, of like, success doesn't matter to me with how much is in our bank account per se. Like, I want to be comfortable, right? I don't want to be like poor, but like, like having millions and millions of dollars to me doesn't mean I'm successful anymore. If it meant that my family suffered because of it and my time suffered because of it. So now it's way more about how much time and energy I'm making and I'm pouring into my friends, my loved ones, my family, making memories, all that kind of stuff. Like if we have enough resources to go travel, create these memories and spend time with the people we love, like going to Maui in a week, then like I'm good, man. I'm good. So
awesome.
Thank you both so much. And Don for hopping on as well. It's been incredible. We appreciate your candor and just the authenticity of who you guys are. And it's another reason why we love you. If people want to connect with you, give you wholesale deals, where is the best place for them to reach out?
Honestly, Instagram, probably just at Janelle Invests. I'm always on that thing, basically. Oh, well, I try to DM as many people as possible, but now I always miss something somewhere because I'm in the middle of it and then baby cries. So bear with me, but I will get back to everybody, I promise.
Yep. And then Don Carlson on Facebook. So
perfect.
Awesome. Well, you guys are amazing. We can't wait to see you guys in about a week, and looking forward to giving you guys a big hug. Thanks so much for coming on, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys.
So fun.
Love you guys.
Thanks for being part of the family today. If you want a closer look at our journey through real life, business, and all the wild adventures, follow us on Instagram at Our Family Invest. And for free resources to help you on your own path, head to ourfamilyinvest.com.
If you like this episode, send it to a friend. And if you're feeling extra generous, drop us a quick review. It really helps us grow this community. Thank you so much for being part of our family today. We really, truly appreciate you.